Aries, welcome back. I thank you so kindly for your patience. My apologies for missing last week. I am absolutely feeling better and very happy to be back doing this reading for you. You are number three of the top three for this week's readings, as you were the most viewed videos, not this past week, but I guess the week prior. In any event, thank you for joining. Happy to have you here. I got a new deck that I'm super excited to read from. Haven't read the book yet at all to get artist interpretation, but it's an incredibly intuitive deck. And so I'm happy to test it out on you guys and see what you think as well. It's called Tarot of Mystical Moments, if anybody out there is interested in what you see. So straight out of the gate, Aries, we have the Ten of Pentacles coming out. I'm just going to draw some more cards because I am going to try to read these a little more intuitively than I would, than traditionally. So let's just sit in the energy. Please have patience as, I work with these new cards who are very anxious to speak to you today, let me tell you. Okay, so we've got three. That's a good start. So Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Tower. I feel with this Ten of Pentacles, a situation where someone has worked very, very hard throughout their lifetime to build a foundation. This looks like a home. This looks like a family. This is something that they're very proud of. It almost has kind of like a King of Pentacles feel to this card here. This is somebody, again, I don't know if I've said this already, but incredibly proud of the hard work that they do. You can see here, they're sitting on like a tree stump, if you will. You see all the lines there. And so this is the years and years and years that they've put into matters of foundation, home, stability, legacy potentially as well. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles coming out next. Interesting. This definitely speaks of fertility. So I feel like it's representing a person. I can't tell if it's you or not yet. But again, I was trying to get away with this, or get away from this with Pisces and Gemini as well, where instead of being so hung up on what each of these cards represents as far as signs go, read more about the energy of these, because you can be an Aries, which is very obviously a fire sign, but you can hold the energy of a Queen of Pentacles, right? And so I find myself kind of being drawn more to that lately. In any event, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who, could be a mother, somebody who is, I'm just getting here, the word I'm getting is environmental. So somebody who cares very deeply about the earth, an earthly surrounding sort of thing. They tend to that as they would a loved one is also what I'm getting. Could relate to matters of the home. It's interesting that this Queen of Pentacles is looking over here at the King, or see, I said the King of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? So it's potentially, you could have a King of Pentacles sort of person in your life right now. So this Queen is looking over at this Ten of Pentacles. And it's almost like these two are sharing something where they've built something together, but very differently. So while he's been focused more on maybe the material gains, she's been more focused on nurturing and things like that. Okay, and fertility, like maybe raising children and things like that. There's something here with this Tower, which this is a really interesting Tower card. Something's come crashing down is what I'm hearing here. And as you can see, like in this card, it's, the foundation is still there, but what you knew has come crumbled down. This also feels like this is something that you've been trying to hold together. So this is something potentially a home, a marriage. It really does feel like a home, I have to tell you. I don't feel like this is career, where it's come crumbling down and almost imploding from within is what I'm hearing, okay? So it's not like a tower where something external happens and it kind of blows the top off of everything and it's a sudden shock and it's kind of like, yikes, and it's change that's needed, but it's often not entirely pleasant at the time that we're experiencing it. It isn't until we look back afterwards that we're like, oh, okay, that was the reason for it. And this feels like something that you hung on to so tightly that you tried to stop and you weren't able to, okay? I'm hearing like not all is lost, but this is this is to me talking about a home or a family situation where the two of you have put in a lot of time and effort and something it's not working. Yeah. Strength card out next. I really want to talk about these cards because the imagery is so rich and deep in them. The strength card in this is really to me the epitome of what the strength card should be. You know, and other decks have come close for me, but this one entirely so. It's this innocence. So it's this little girl, and you know she's kind of got those little cub ears, you know, and so it's almost like you know there is some lion in her, but she's she shows her strength differently than maybe this big guy here who could be ferocious and vicious and you know very scary looking, right? She's very gentle, she's very calm, she's very measured. There's a sweetness about her, and that's where her strength lies, okay? And so I'm feeling like this is you. um, it could also be potentially a child involved in this situation as well because of this. There's such an innocence to this, but if it's not involving children, then it definitely represents you in that you have this sweetness and innocence to you, but you're so flippin' strong, okay? Very, very strong. And you are able to kind of tame, I want to say tame the beast in others, but you're able to take situations and kind of diffuse them. You're able to calm people down. You know, if somebody's really angry, you can kind of go to them and talk to them, and just being in your presence. I mean, just being in your presence helps them. It helps soothe them, helps calm them, and diffuse a situation. Yeah, the Empress. I'm happy to see this card come out because this card really speaks to me about what it's like to, you know, potentially run a home and potentially have a career and potentially raise a family. And the Empress in this deck just embodies everything that's so beautiful. Um, and it feels, I'm just getting that there's something new coming. And I don't think this is a pregnancy. I'm not getting a pregnancy feel off of this reading so far, but it feels like you're about to birth something beautiful and brand new, potentially from this experience because of your strength. And potentially this is something that happened in the past, in the recent past, and here you are coming out the other side of it. I saw a card flip over. What was it? The Eight of Swords. Interesting. I need to sit with this card for a minute. This is different for me. I feel like you are in a situation in this relationship. We are going the relationship route with this, guys. Sorry. I think most of you have figured out by now I usually read for love. It just, I don't know why. It does. I'm going to try. Yeah, anyways, let's just leave it there. So with the Eight of Swords, this is really about feeling caged. And I think previously in this, there's some aspect of you that felt like you couldn't be free, that you couldn't roam, that you couldn't do what you truly wanted to do. I'm just hearing that something felt larger than life. I think you're larger than life, quite honestly. I think you are capable of so many things, so many wonderful, beautiful things. And I think, again, I keep hearing like larger than life, larger than life. And I think, again, these cards reinforce it when we're looking at this Strength card and this Empress card. You have so much to give. Your wings have been clipped for some time now. I can see through this many, many years. And there's been, like, your energy is so drained from having to hang on to this and to prevent it from all falling apart. It's exhausting. Like, it's just, it it really needs to be released. And honestly, you could have fought as hard as you wanted on this, and you could have kept fighting as hard as you wanted with it. But the truth of the matter is, it was going to come crumbling down on you regardless. Something was going to happen, and this was going to come down, okay? You couldn't prevent this. So back to this card here with the Eight of Swords. I just feel like if you are feeling trapped, or if you were feeling trapped, Spirit wants you to know that the lid is off. Like, you literally, all you have to do is stand up and pop that lid off more so you can get out. Look at you, larger than life here. And you can be free. You can go. But it feels like you're kind of stuck in this energy where you don't believe that. It feels like you feel like your wings are clipped. You feel, it's almost like a feeling of imprisonment, honestly. It feels like that weary, tired, no, like really poor self-confidence, quite honestly, like self-esteem, that sort of thing, feeling like I can't do this, when in actual fact, by God, you're larger than life. Like, look how big you are in comparison to these trees and stuff, right? And look at the sky is calling you, is what I'm getting, okay? But you're not able to see this right now. Yeah, Five of Cups on the bottom here. You know, this card really to me speaks a lot about emotions, about things that have been lost. But what you're not seeing here is that, yes, you've lost those blooms, right? So you've lost something, but on this little tree here, this little stick that you're holding, there's new beautiful blooms coming in. It's time to say goodbye to these ones, and it's time to embrace this stick here. So turn your head. All you literally have to do is turn your head, explore a different perspective, think about it a little bit differently, okay? And uh, and then you will begin to see this. Now, that's making it sound a lot easier than I suspect this is, because whatever this is a huge life transition. This is not something that is small. Like, again, I'm getting some really deep foundations being laid up here. So with the Justice card coming out next, this could have something to do with a divorce, again, with this situation here. Or even more generally, it just speaks to me about fairness. And so I don't know if there was an inequality within this marriage. It's interesting because I don't really find that there is. Like, it feels to me an energy of balance. I think this person probably, and I do feel like the Ten of Pentacles is representing a person, like a spouse or a partner. It represents somebody who kept it really simple, whereas you put a lot more work into it and almost made it more complex, but it was beautiful. Like, it's not like it was overboard. It was just a different way of doing things. I think the two of you had a very different way of doing things. Absolutely, is how that feels. I just feel like nobody's right or wrong in this situation. I feel like this is something that it's just the hands of fate have turned, and it's time for you to, I don't know what we're going to see as the cards come out. But anyways, with the Justice here, I think it's a matter of weighing up what's fair, and potentially if this is an ending of something, you know, whether that's assets being split up and stuff, or even just give me a moment here, Aries. I just need a moment with this card. There's something here about communication and balance. And perhaps that's something that you're missing in this dynamic right now, or that had been missing, you know, previously in this relationship, is a lack of balance and communication. Perhaps the two of you didn't communicate, and so things got left unsaid, or they were misinterpreted or misconstrued, or just not dealt with because nobody ever spoke openly about it, and it wasn't fair and balanced. If there was conversation, is what I'm getting from that card more than anything. Okay. What else can you tell us about this situation here? What's the lesson in this situation here? Aries, I'm going to try to keep the readings a little bit shorter, just so that I can get more out to everybody, particularly this week, because I'm late. We have the cat joining us this afternoon. Yeah, the Nine of Wands. Oh, I love this deck so much, you guys. I'm sorry if I say that a million times today, but it's just, I love this deck. The Nine of Wands really speaks, and again, I feel like this is you. I feel like, particularly in love, you have a lot of battle scars. I don't think it's been an easy time for you in love in general. And I'm not just speaking about this relationship, and potentially this is why this relationship had issues or had troubles and is falling apart, was because you have a very poor history when it comes to love relationships. It feels like a lot of people have injured you, right? And that you've stitched those up, but you know, we can only take so much. Pardon the cat, everybody. It's part of my house. I have animals everywhere and they're part of my life. So if you don't like animals interrupting, this may not be the channel for you. I'll tell you that right now. Um, but the Nine of Wands really speaks to, yeah, those past experiences taking a toll. That said, with this card, this woman still has this look on her face, and this can be a man as well, no gender here, right? But this person will say, even throughout all of this, still manages to see the good in life, still manages to move on, still manages to pick themselves and dust themselves off, and they're taking these injuries, if you will, these past experiences as learning lessons, okay? Lessons that needed to be learned. And isn't that the thing about life? You know, we can either sit in sorrow and grief or anger or whatever the emotion is that goes, you know, with the hurt that you're feeling, and we can let it get on top of us, or we can take those lessons and we can move on and we can choose differently in the future, or we can trust our intuition more. We can go back to the drawing board and do some more healing on ourselves, right? That's not to say, and I'm going to say this really clearly because it did come into my mind, so it's something that's important to say. That doesn't mean that there isn't a time that you feel injured and wounded and, you know, like sometimes you could just curl up and die. That's not to discount those feelings and those times along your journey, okay? This is something that comes with time and it comes with healing, but it comes from working through those pains, right, on that healing journey. You know, this takes your active involvement. So please, if you're not there yet, and you know that kind of burned when I say, like, you know, it's lessons that you learn from and move on. Just know that this takes time and it will happen when it's supposed to happen. Okay. And if you're sitting and you know, quote unquote wallowing, which I hate that, but if that's what people are telling you, pay no mind to that. That is part of the journey. That is part of healing. And it's human nature. How can we deny that part of ourselves? That's so totally normal that I think everybody wants to push past and out. It's like the grieving trajectory. You know, how can we push past and out if we haven't really leaned into it and explored it? Dear Abby, like, you're really making a mess here, my love. I kind of, sorry, I'm just, when the animals come in, sometimes it's usually, it's about something bigger than just the cat wandering in. I'm getting this sense that it's almost like you feel there's, I don't know if you feel you've made a mess of something or someone else has just made a mess of something, or you feel like your mess or your life is a total mess right now and it's all chaos and stuff, and you just want it to be orderly. You just want things to go back in their box and just to be the way they were. And this is really, really hard for you. This kind of feels a bit chaotic right now, whether that's emotionally or financially or what have you. I kind of get that feeling that this is how you're feeling right now. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn to be comfortable sitting in the mess, okay? To kind of go with the flow and to be okay when everything's not perfect and right. It's like letting that go and focusing on things that are truly more important. And again, that's not to say that these things aren't important, but it's a call from spirit to start focusing on the things that are worth controlling, okay? Instead of constantly walking against the wind. And if you truly are this Queen of Pentacles here, that would be really difficult for you to do because you do run an organized ship. You like to have things in their place. You like to know what's coming up ahead, right? You're organized and stuff like that. So to have it a mess like this, like my cards are right now, is probably driving you damn near bonkers, okay? All right. Yes, and so I'm just being called to tell you, like, focus. So as an example, okay, I could be really upset about this mess right now because this feels messy and I hate it. Like, my cards are all over and I don't like that. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to communicate with you to give you the best reading possible. And here my cat is, like, all over the place making a mess. Now there's fur all over my black cloth, right? But what Spirit would want us to focus on is like, focus on what's right before you, this beautiful fuzzy little animal who's like purring, who's obviously quite enjoying herself, right? Focus on what's in front of you that is important. And this little cat is absolutely more important than cards on a table, right? It's not even about the cards, it's about the message, right? So that's just an example of how you could choose to look at things differently, okay? And again, that only comes through healing. That's not something that you should automatically be expected to do. And so if you're feeling like you need help with something in your life, reach out, whether that's a trusted friend who has the capacity to listen and has the capacity to assist you. Don't be going to people that don't have that capacity, that aren't able to provide that to you, or whether that's a professional, right? You'll know. And if you ask for it, ye shall receive, right? I'm getting a lot of static about it's not that easy to just ask for something to get it. Like, it must be nice. I'm hearing a lot of that chatter. So I think, it's important to know that we can ask for these things, but we also have to take the initiative, and we have to take at least little steps out to start out on that path. And so whether that's making one phone call, okay, one phone call a week, or one phone call a day if you can manage more, to, a clinic or something for counseling, or just trying to find someone, someone potentially that you might be able to afford if money's an issue, or just someone that you jam with. Going outside to meet people, even though we're in isolation, you can go to the grocery store and you can be around other people, and you never know who's going to come across your path and just say hello to you, okay? Or just try to strike up a 3-second, conversation. And that can have an impact on your life. And so Spirit's saying that, you also have to put in something, right? Any other messages here for our beautiful Aries today? I'm being called to pull the Wisdom of the Oracle. Whoops, that shuffle didn't go very well. Yeah, between worlds and by the book. You're definitely between worlds right now. And by the book, again, I just feel like that really reinforces that energy of, it doesn't have to be by the book. You might have to let some of that go, okay? You might have to be comfortable sitting in the mess for a little bit, okay? Let go of control. If you're always trying to control something, it's going to be like walking against the wind both ways, okay? The more we let go, the more we just trust, the more we stop fighting against the current, okay, the better off we might be. I can think of myself, there was a time recently, and I'm not sharing these stories to talk about myself, guys. This is stuff that I'm being guided to share with you so that you could potentially get something from it, okay? So I'm thinking, recently there was a situation where, which one should I use? I've had so many come up lately. With the school, I think the schools are a great example right now, because the kids are now staying at home doing online learning because of COVID. And there is no schedules released. There is no kind of, there's not much released because they had such a short time to prepare all of this and stuff. And the old me would have been frantically sending off emails and what's going on and what's the plan for tomorrow and what lesson is he supposed to be working on and, all of this stuff. And instead I just thought, nope, I'm going to let it go. If I don't hear about, schedules and stuff, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll jump on Google Classroom tomorrow and just deal with it from there. And it was like night and day as far as my blood pressure went and stuff, because it wasn't fighting against something. It was just letting it go. And guess what? Everything turned out as it should. The teacher emailed that night, and just explaining that, it's been a really crazy time and they just haven't gotten anything out sooner. Yeah, and everybody's better for it if we just kind of let things go sometimes, okay? Yeah, I think Spirit's just confirming that this is the milk and honey of the message. You really need to just let loose and just have some fun too, is the other message that's coming through here. And again, I don't want to offend anybody if they are going through an incredibly difficult time right now, but having fun, it could be something as silly as playing with your kids for 5 minutes, okay? It doesn't have to be taking them on big trips and doing fancy things with them and stuff. This could be petting your cat, your dog, your iguana, like whatever you've got, right? This could be spending some time for yourself, taking a bath and having like a nice donut in the tub or something, or using some Epsom salts, or I don't know, like some cheap bath bubbles. Like, who cares, right? Like, whatever it is, tailor it to what you can afford, and what you enjoy and what feels like relaxing or fun for you. Okay. Yeah, there's mending taking place here. This spirit is just confirming that there's some healing going on. You have to use your imagination in this somewhat, okay? Be creative. And again, it doesn't have to be big. It can be small little things, but it's definitely pointing to the fact that you are mending right now, and that this is leading you to even better places. I'm also hearing too, I'm getting in this card, you can see, I don't know if you can see that little image up there, but Spirit's watching over you. Oh, that glitters. Yeah. Spirit's watching over you, and they're supporting you. So if you're a person that prays, if you're a person that speaks to the universe, whatever it is you do to get through day to day and what you believe in and what your higher powers sort of thing, just know that these energies are by your side, okay? You're never really alone. Sorry guys, you're getting my big head in the way there. Observer. Yeah, I think this is a call to just chill. I'm just hearing chill the F out and just observe for a while. Stop doing and just be. Look up some mindfulness techniques on the internet, okay? I'm sorry, I don't have any offhand right now that I can think of, but I mean, it's all over the internet. Whatever resonates with you. There's lots of great videos on YouTube for that. I'm also spending more time outside. If you are someone who does like to stargaze, that can be incredibly relaxing and very interesting. So it's something that gets you out of the house. It gets your mind kind of engaged and busy in something else other than, what's bugging you. Yeah, with this healing journey of yours, you're going to have to go to the edge. This is going to take risk. This is going to take you exploring matters of the heart, potentially past relationships and stuff like that. Building a new foundation, I'm hearing, because the foundation that was laid for you as a child probably was shit. Sorry for that swearing, but it's I'm just gonna say it anyways. And it is going to take an element of risk. It's not easy to do, but I'm hearing this will free you. Like, this will be very freeing for you, but you've got to, again, the message coming through so clear is you've got to let go, okay? So whatever you're hanging on to so desperately, you've got to let go. Yeah, you have to be willing to risk falling off the cliff and trusting there's something below for you, okay? I don't know what that means for someone, but if you don't risk it, you're not going to get the biscuit. Whatever that's, I think that's something my kids say. No, where did I hear that? Risk it for the biscuit? Not something I normally say, so that's for somebody out there. Why? If you're asking yourself why, if you're up in your head, if you're constantly looking for answers, like, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? What did this mean? Where am I going? What's going to happen next and stuff? It's asking, Spirit's asking for you to trust, okay? I'm just hearing too that all will be revealed to you when it's time for you to know it. But you've really, again, it's just this, you've got to let go, okay? You're going to drive yourself mad. Maybe you're watching a lot of videos too. You might be watching a lot of videos trying to get the answers to why, and you're not going to find them. You're just going to make yourself more confused, quite honestly. Trust in your own spirit. Trust in your own intuition and your own guidance. Not to scare you away from readings and stuff, Because I think, you know, sometimes we can hear something that someone says that kind of clicks and it's like, ah, like an aha moment. But if you're looking for a specific answer, you're better off trusting your own intuition, okay? And trusting spirit for whatever that means for you, okay? One more card. I said I was going to keep this short and I totally lied, Aries, but I don't control the messages. The messages come to me. Oh, loyal heart. Okay, it was upside down though. It was in reverse. I don't typically read reversals in my oracles, but I feel inclined for this one. There's some sort of betrayal happening here. There's someone here that I feel like you felt had the key to your heart, that the two of you were kind of two peas in a pod sort of thing. If you look at these two figures, they're so similar. And there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love here. But because it's in the reverse, it's like that was lost, okay? And so if this has happened to you specifically, if you resonate with that messaging, so remember there is a betrayal, then, you know, rewind this and watch it again if you need to, because there's something in here that you need to hear. Yin is all about receiving energy, okay? The fates, exactly. I think it's really going to be important for you to learn about receiving. And again, the Queen of Pentacles will give and give and give, right? Often at the expense of herself. So it's important for you to also learn the lesson in here, all the lessons to learn to receive, to be comfortable receiving, okay? You might be a giver, and if, again, you resonate with that, it's time for you to start receiving. It's time for you to start working on the more feminine aspects of yourself. You're probably really strong with the masculine aspects. Now you need to balance that out. And did we not have a card here about balance? Yes, we did. So balancing the masculine and the feminine, okay? Okay, is this a joke that all of these are landing on the floor? Seriously, clean it up. Spirit's calling for you now to clean this up. It's time for you, if you've not embarked on your healing journey, if you're not investing in it, if you've been scared to, if you've been avoiding it, it's time. You have to start. Okay, no, I've been corrected. You don't have to start anything. Spirit is really encouraging you to start cleaning up. It's in your best interest, okay? Yang, exactly. So this is the card of giving. So we had giving and receiving on the bottom there. Breathing, right? What else do we got here? Happy, happy. Never-ending story. Thinker. Like it's the same messaging over and over again. Getting up in your head. Not trusting. This giving energy, right? Clean this up. This constant need for you to give constantly and not receive. You've got to clean that up. This is what this Yang card is saying, okay? And when you learn to receive, it's like, I don't know how to explain this. When you learn to receive, Spirit is going to give you back so much more. So it's ironic because I think we're raised and we're told our whole lives that you give back to people, you give back to your community, you give selflessly, you give until you've got nothing left. And while I think it's a beautiful thing to give and it's important, it's also important to be able to receive. And if you can't balance the two, then you're going to be living in a state of lack, okay? But if you are able to balance giving and receiving, then Spirit is going to reward you tenfold, okay? So balance, 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 balance. Get out of your head. It's time to start working on yourself, okay? It's time to clean this up. I'm gonna have to end it there, Aries. And the cat just left. Okay, what does that say? Aries, if you resonated with this, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments below. I'd be super curious to see if there is something in there for you. If you're not comfortable commenting, but you did get something from this video, please be sure to hit the like button, share and subscribe so that we can continue to build this amazing community here of beautiful people. Thank you all so much. I love reading for you all and certainly happy to see all of your comments and your likes indeed. Take care. Bye for now.